Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here to bring you Sword Art Online, Episode 6. Last week's was pretty interesting, and this week's just got like, woo! Woo! It was like just another step. Continuation of this story of the ring of this group that we were talking about last week. It seemed like at the end of that episode, Yuruko was killed. Now, ends on happening is that Kirito just jumps out the window of that hotel, and ASUNA's like, "No, stop it!" and everything. Man, let me tell you something about ASUNA. She's one fine piece of ass, and she is so demanding. I love her. Anyway, moving right along. He's running after the culprit that supposedly killed Yuriko. Unfortunately, the culprit, he escapes and he doesn't catch him. So that's how that situation ends. Now, Schmidt is like freaking out. He's like, oh, it's the ghost of Griselda, and he's like freaking out. Just crazy shit going down. And what ends up happening is, I'm trying to think. Is that from that scenario, Kirito's pissed off, and he hits the wall because he feels that, he doesn't understand what's going on. It's like bullshit, what's going on. And from there, we have, basically stuff goes in separate ways. They go back to the town square, Kirito and ASUNA, and, they're just discussing, the whole bit with this scenario, and she's giving him this sandwich to eat. And she says, "Oh, she made it herself and everything." And she's just so strange, ASUNA. She's just like this character that, I want to say she really to Kirito. She's very, demanding about him. And she tells him that, oh, this sandwich is going to expire. Because when when you eat the sandwich, it expires and everything. Now, what really goes down late after this whole scenario where they're eating is we go to another level. We go to level 19, which is known as Hill of the Cross. And we see Schmidt praying in front of Griselda's grave. And he hears voices. Surprisingly enough, he starts hearing voices of somebody being there. And he turned back real quick just to see if anybody's there, and nobody's there. And then he goes in front. There are these two figures that show up. And guess who the figures are? Yuriko and Kane. Yeah, Yuriko and Kane. And I'm like, what? Then we get an explanation from Kirito. I believe her name is Yuriko. Kirito basically says that just like how the sandwich gets expired, that's what happened with Yuriko and Kane. Basically, when they got stabbed, they didn't die. They were never really in any danger. What happened was that was Kane's armor that got stabbed. And as far as Yuriko is concerned, she already had the knife in her back. So this was all staged. It was all staged to to record Schmidt on the wrongdoings that he did. And he's like saying, "Oh, I see what I see now." And Kirito basically tells ASUNA, she asks him, I think, should we help them, let them handle it on their own. Later on, what ends up happening is he obviously comes clean Schmidt with the whole thing, and then out of the blue, these figures show up. These guys with hoods. And those guys apparently are from a guild called Laughing Coffin. They're killers. Now, the whole story was that Grimlock told Yuruko and Kane to confront Schmidt and to, the whole thing. But unfortunately, while these figures showed up and was about to execute not only Schmidt, but Yuruko and Kane, Kirito shows up out of the blue, and we get an explanation later. He says he's talking to ASUNA and about marriage and everything, and then she gets a fork and goes like this to him because she was talking about marriage, and how it's realistic or something. Anyway, what ends on happening is he begins to think, oh, wait a minute. If you're married to somebody, you share a storage for items. So then that means what happens when the person that's your significant other dies? He puts 2 to 2 together and realizes that Grimlock is actually the culprit here. He's the one who killed Griselda. Can't say her name correctly. And these people that showed up, they were hired by Grimlock. So Kirito confronts them while he was riding a horse. He got there, confronts them and says, you guys better get out of here because you don't want to have to face the assault. Reinforcements of the assault. And then he says, the leader of the group says, we're leaving. So, they leave, and he's explaining then to Schmidt and the other two, Yuruko and that this was all Grimlock's plan. It was all his plan. He intended to kill you. He was the one who killed Griselda. Then we get ASUNA coming back with Grimlock, and the reason why Grimlock did this was not about money. He was married to Gristella before Sword Art Online. So in the real world, he was married to her. And the problem was that she changed dramatically when she went into the world of Sword Art Online. And he could not stand that. And that's the reason why he killed her. So, what ends on happening is, and he's like telling Kirito, one day detective, he calls him a detective, I don't know why he called him detective, you'll see what it's like. Can you deal with having your love, the one you love, change like that? And then we get a thing with the other members, Schmidt, Yuruko, and Kane. They take Grimlock away, and she bows her head, Yuruko, and they go on their merry way because they want to obviously deal with it on their own. Then we get this interesting situation with ASUNA and Kirito. Funny thing, she's like telling him, "Oh, we might as well be friends now. Go on my friend list." And she's so demanding of him, like, "Oh, let's go get something to eat and everything." And before they leave, guess what happens? And this, at first, I didn't know what was going on. And I was like, is she alive? Gristella showed up. And I'm like, and then she disappeared. Supposedly there was something that added on that. I don't know what that was at. And then they were just talking, ASUNA and about, you know, clearing the level, clearing the floor by the end of the week, and so forth. I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5. This was a pretty damn good chapter. Did I say chapter? Good episode. Pretty damn good episode. We'll see where this goes with this. I mean, next one's gonna be the warmth of the heart. So, and the interaction between Kirito and ASUNA, they're getting married. It's gonna happen. So I'll just say that right now. They're gonna get married. I'm telling you right now. They're going. Maybe they'll just. See, that's another thing that I'm wondering about this show. Like, can you have sex? I didn't mean to say that. I have sex in this show. Because, you know, if you can get married in the game, in Sword Art Online, then what's stopping you from, you know, maybe that's just me, but this was a good episode, 4 out of 5, like I said. Interesting conclusion to this whole situation with this ring and everything. And now we're going to get some good stuff going on. Because we're going to get this whole thing with, I think there's going to be something going on between ASUNA and Kirito more deeply. So, we'll see. But yeah, this was a good episode, like I said. Tell me what you guys think. I like this whole scheme that was going on. These 2 episodes, episode 5 and 6, were pretty damn good. Because we had this, like, alternative kind of thing going on. And it now has been solved, and we can move on. And I just think it's very interesting. Very interesting. So, yeah. By the way, this has been Bonkai 922. Last video of the night. Later today I will do the others. Not a lot. It's just One Piece review. So I Can't Play H for the other channel, Evil King of Anime Versus. And unfortunately, Bleach chapter came out. Oh God. So tomorrow I'm going to have to do that review, the Bleach chapter review, One Piece episode review, Arcana Familia, and for the other channel. And I think Fairy Tail chapter is supposed to come out. Too many shitty things, freaking things coming out. So, yeah. But anyway, this has been Bonkai 922, and I'll see you guys later. ASUNA. She's one fine piece of ass. That's all I'm going to say. See you guys later.